Hello and welcome back to Sudrian Spotlight. This episode we're looking at an old favourite of mine, number 503, Colonel Henry Regaby. Sir Albert Regaby was chairman of the NWR from its inception in 1915 until 1934. His son Henry served in the British Army during World War I, and to commemorate this, NWR number 303 was painted Rifle Regiment green and adorned with the name Colonel Henry Regaby. Number 303 became the official commemorative locomotive for the Sodor Regiment. After the Kildane accident in 1935, number 303 was written off and scrapped. At this time, a second motive power crisis loomed. Thankfully, that year, loans from the British government began to be available for building new locomotives, station improvements and modernisation. The story current at Cravens Gate Works is that Topham Hatt and William Stanier were apprentices together at Swindon, and that on at least one occasion, perhaps more, the future Sir Topham was able to help the future Sir William to escape the consequences of what might have been a serious scrape. The later arrival of Stanier at the LMS in 1931 had marked the beginning of the end of the ill feeling the LMS had toward the independent NWR. Thus, Hatt was able to arrange the loan of drawings for the 5MT and 8F class locos then in production. 2 Class 5s and 3 Class 8s were built by the North British Locomotive Co. to these drawings, the LMS not being allowed to build locos for other companies themselves. The NBL 5MTs were distinctive from the early LMS ones in having the top feed on the front ring of the boiler, a feature that would appear on the later LMS types. One of these Class 5s, numbered 503, became the second Colonel Henry Regaby, and inherited the nameplates and lined green livery of its predecessor. As for the model, Henry II is a standard Hornby Black 5, with the top feed on the front ring of the boiler. It was repainted green and lined out using Fox transfers, and was actually the first loco of the whole fleet to be done. The livery is based on that worn by 5MT number 44932 in the early days of preservation at Carnforth. The story that I've heard is that during the early days of preservation, enthusiasts were not allowed to paint their locomotives in exactly the same colours as BR locomotives to avoid confusion. This led to more experimentation. For example, take a look at the interesting liveries that cropped up on the Keighley and Worth Valley Railway. Whether that was the reason why this loco specifically ended up in green, I'm not sure, but it did look very, very good. Mechanically, Henry retains the standard Hornby drive mechanism, and while hills aren't at strong point, it does run very, very smoothly. In the future, like the rest of the fleet, Henry will be converted to remote control, and I might do a video on that when I come around to it. Hope you've enjoyed this short episode of Sudrian Spotlight. Henry was the final loco of the first batch that I filmed, and I'll be filming another load very, very soon. I know that a lot of you have been clamouring to see everybody's favourite little blue tank engine, so he'll definitely be in that batch. Thanks again, and please do subscribe for more Sudrian Spotlight in the future.